Hello, I'm Bill. No, I ain't got no fucking virus. I always fucking cough. And now the end is near. So I face the final curtain. My friends, I'll make it clear. I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full. I've travelled each and every highway. The more, much more than this. I did it my way. Regrets, I've had a few. Then again, too few to mention. I did what I had to do. I saw it through without exception. And now, as tears subside, I find it all so amusing to think I did all that. And may I say, not in a sad way, I did it my way. Well, sorry. I've got the coronavirus. Sorry, I said I've got the coronavirus. Now, shut up! So, it's the coronavirus. Never mind. Okay, look, here's a bit of advice though. If you are HIV, I'm not exactly worried about a bit of fucking, well, I suppose, shipping may be a little bit worried. Actually, my advice, a little bit of advice, yeah, I'm sick as shit, right? But I'm not exactly panicking because we had the AIDS epidemic and I lived through that. I said we had the fucking AIDS epidemic and I lived through that. Do you know the first time I had gay sex? Very first time, I was 14 years old, right? That was in 1980, right? 1980. I personally, Bill, William Joseph Bailey. Pause. Hold on. True story. First time I had gay sex, I was 14 years old. I was born in 1966. It was 1980. Just about the same month that John Lennon got shot. I think it was just after John Lennon got shot, or just before. Don't know which. Let's just say me and John Lennon both got shot on the same night. You might say. First time I ever creamed. I was on holiday with my best mate in Bournemouth or something. No, Plymouth, I think it was. Might have been Plymouth or something like that. Or Portsmouth or something like that. But we were on holiday and he wanked me off. We were 14. We were both 14 at the time, in 1980. Yeah. AIDS began in about 1982. See, AIDS actually began in 1982. Fortunately, I did not catch AIDS because my best friend was wanking me off for 4 years. Basically, for about 3 or 4 years, I had a partner and my mate was wanking me off for about 3 or 4 years. And then I joined the army to straighten myself out. I apologise for that, Andy. Sincerely apologise for that, my dear boy. But anyway, while this virus is going on, yeah, I know it's very serious. I would suggest probably if you're HIV positive, I know you've got pills now to sort of like stop you dying from AIDS. You see, we had the AIDS epidemic, didn't we? In the 1982 till the present day, really, it's not been cured. I did have one idea. You take a negative white blood cell, you take a positive white blood cell. Compare the negative white blood cell to the positive white blood cell. You compare the elemental structure of a negative white blood cell to the elemental structure of a positive white blood cell. You find out what elements are missing from a positive white blood cell. You find out what elements are missing and replace the missing element. That's as far as I know about AIDS. That's as far as I got. I got that idea of Doctor Who, actually, because there was an episode of Doctor Who with Christopher Eccleston and Billy Piper, and they did this game show thingy, and the question was sort of is iron in red or white blood cells, and it turned out that iron was in red blood cells, I think. But if we know what that iron is in red blood cells, that's probably what makes iron. Actually, that is probably what makes blood red. Probably iron that makes the red blood cells red, because iron is kind of like a reddy colour. So basically, yeah. But so that gave me the idea, and I thought, well, compare the negative to the positive on an elemental level. You find the missing element, you replace the missing element. I got that idea of Doctor Who, anyway, that's as far as I know. Anyway, you know. So, the world's in a mess at the moment, isn't it? It's coronavirus. Now, I was going to say, if you are HIV positive, it might be worth isolating yourselves with your good friends. Because as long as you've got condoms, I say, if you're positive, you're HIV positive, well, let's face it, you're alive, yeah? You got pills now. But they have to keep taking pills, though, don't you? HIV positive, I think you still have to take a lot of pills, don't you? It's not been cured yet. We haven't cured AIDS yet. I said we have not cured AIDS yet. I think in 1 or 2 situations, maybe. But we haven't actually cured AIDS yet, have we? After 40 years nearly. Fuck. It must be about 38 years since AIDS began. But we haven't actually cured it. We've got it under control with pills and stuff, but we don't really want to take pills forever, do you? You don't really want to take pills forever, do you? Fortunately, I'm negative, so I'm lucky. I haven't actually been tested, actually, but so stick to virgins, you'll be right. No, but if you have to have self-isolation, like for instance, if you are positive, for instance, it might be worth getting all your mates together, you know, get all your food and stuff together and sort of like you could have a little house party, couldn't you? Yeah. I say if you are HIV positive because of this flu virus, then you have to be very careful with infections. If you're HIV positive because of the problem with the negative white blood cells, whatever, you have to be a bit careful with infections and stuff, like flus and stuff. So yeah, if you have to isolate yourself, get all your mates together, right? Get all your mates together and have a little bit of, loads of beer, loads of fucking food, lots of fucking smoke. And then what you should do is party like it's the end of the fucking world. No, seriously, if you're gay, you know, HIV positive, whatever, and you know, like you got to be a bit careful because if you are HIV positive, when there's a flu epidemic, obviously, because you know you have to be very careful when you haven't got when your antibodies don't work or whatever. I don't know what the solution is really. I'm thick as shit. Luckily, I'm okay. I'm 54 this year. Well, next month, 53 at the moment. Still, I'm going to lose my home very soon. The council are kicking me out of my flat. Basically, the council are kicking me out of my flat soon, and I've got to find somewhere else to live. I've got this bidding thing, and there's nothing to bid for. I'm well pissed off because I don't want to move, man. I love it fucking here. It's been my home for nearly 24 years. In fact, it's been my home for 24 years. And I paid, the council concreted over my fucking windows, like my bathroom windows. You see that? The council concreted over my fucking bathroom windows. So when the council concreted over my bathroom windows, I painted a picture. This, only one in existence, is my aquarium, because the council concreted over my windows. Now the council would have kicked me out of my flat, but I can't take the picture with me. I can't take my painting with me, because it's the concrete that the council used. When the council plastered over my fucking bathroom windows after Grenfell, I painted the fucking concrete. And I can't take my fucking picture with me, can I? Fucking pissed off about that. Anyway, I have nothing else I want to say, really. Anyway, hope we all get through this virus okay. But I suppose if you're in self-isolation and you're gay, and you've got a few good mates, hopefully you've got a few good mates. So if you've got to go sort of like into isolation, sort of, especially if you're positive, because, especially if you are HIV positive, you have to be very careful if you're HIV positive because of infections and stuff. And you have to self-isolate, I suppose. But self-isolate yourself with your pals, all right? Get all your gay pals together and self-isolate yourself in a box or whatever with all your supplies and fuck each other's brains out. That's what I'd recommend. If you're HIV positive, you should have a few condoms handy. Have a few condoms handy if there's any negative people there, sort of thing. In your case, I would recommend that you sort of probably get all your mates into a room and fuck each other's brains out and have a bloody good time before the end of the world. Then, hallelujah, amen. Good night.